Hello, everyone. Thank you for being with us on this new IMA. Just a few days before the opening of our next land pre-sale. I see already a lot of you on the chat, so it's really exciting to see so many questions already. Um, I will start with a quick summary or presentation about what is the Sandbox for those of you who are not yet familiar. So here, essentially, the Sandbox is a virtual world on the Ethereum blockchain where players can create, own, play, earn, govern gaming experience through the use of non-fungible tokens and blockchain technology, as well as Sand, our main ERC20 utility token. We are one of the very first user-generated content virtual world where you can trade items, you can socialize and meet friends, you can own land, and you can engage into play to earn, essentially benefiting from your playtime and being able to collect rewards, collect tokens, and trade them with other users participating in the virtual economy of the Sandbox. In Sandbox ecosystem, we have three main products. The first one is VoxEdit. It's a tool that allows you to create 3D models in voxels and animate them. It's already live. We have hundreds of users, hundreds of artists who are using it on daily basis to create amazing content that you can already see on www.sandbox.game/shop, where I will go there after to see a little bit. The marketplace where you can buy those NFTs, where you can buy the lands, where you can browse our map and metaverse, and the game maker, which is currently in alpha version, and some of you are already using to create game experience without any programming knowledge, all by drag and drop. So it's quite exciting to see all those creation, and I will show you today some of those creation made by the amazing creators of our community. And by December 2020, we are aiming to launch the public beta of the game experience, essentially what you as a player will see when you enter the Sandbox metaverse. Essentially, you'll be able to create your avatar, so the 3D persona that you'll be able to customize with the look and feel with different body parts and use to enter social lobbies, talk with other users, interact, chat, play, and then enter the different game experience on the map. Talking about the map, we have a total of 464 lands in the Sandbox virtual world, and there will be never any one more. So all of them are non-fungible tokens, NFTs on the Ethereum blockchain. And we have started to sell out some of them during pre-sales, 4 rounds of pre-sales, more precisely, that we have launched in first in December 2019, and the latest one was in August 4th, and the next one is September 15th, next Tuesday. So by next Tuesday, here's what you need to know if you want to buy a land. A land is like a virtual space that is like a real estate piece of real estate that you will need in order to publish your game experience so that other players can come and play within the Sandbox virtual world. It's one of the main ways that you can use to start earning sand by creating games on top of your lands. You will be able also to rent your lands in the future, as well as stake sand in your land to generate all sorts of tokens that will be useful for the different members of Sandbox community. One second, sorry, I'm losing voice. All right, so I see quite some questions already. One more thing before I jump into questions, I want to highlight something quite important. We will put online by Monday, so one day before the land pre-sale, we'll put on sandbox.game the new version of the website where you'll be able to see your sand balance. So on the top right, you'll be able to see how many sand token you have in your wallet. Because we are on the Ethereum blockchain and we haven't yet implemented meta transaction, you will still need to have a little bit of ETH, I would say somewhere from $2 to $10 of ETH per transaction. We hope it will not be more. It doesn't depend on us, unfortunately, currently with all the high gas fees. So that you can pay for the fee for the transaction on Ethereum blockchain, even though you're paying in Sand. I hope I'm clear about that. I'll try to make a demo potentially if we have time. But the idea is like be sure to have both Sand token, because you will need them to buy the land, and a little bit of ETH on your same wallet if you want to run that transaction to purchase the land. What else? Like, well, it's been a month almost that Sand token have been launched on Binance following a successful launchpad sale. And we are really excited about it. And we're excited because we have over 170,000 new members in our community who all Sand. It showed that there's been a lot of excitement, a lot of well, we are welcoming new members into the community, and what we are building in Sandbox is interesting people beside just crypto or games, but as a broader reach. So it's really exciting. We are on our way to keep growing our community. And just today, actually, we have also listed on a second major exchange, which is called Huobi. Huobi is the second largest exchange in the world based on China, but they also have like a global presence with members and users all around the world. Talking about the land presale 4.2, they will be in 4 waves. You will see them on the map. The first wave will be that top left corner here. The yellow parcels here you can see are the premium lands. Premium lands will include premium NFTs. This time it's quite exciting as well because it's actually, we will include Care Bears. So branded IPs, NFTs. We're going to put a video, a YouTube video showcasing all those NFTs in action in the Game Maker, and you'll be able to use those when you download the Game Maker and start creating experience. So that's really cool, I think. Why just 4 waves? Because we wanted to, this time we wanted to make sure that no matter where you're based in the world, the time zone where you could buy, so every wave 1 is at 11 a.m. GMT, wave 2 is at 1 p.m. GMT, wave 3 the next day is at 3 p.m. GMT, and wave 4 is at 5 p.m. GMT. So whether you're based in Asia, like Korea, Japan, China, you're based in Europe or in North or South America, you should normally, at least during one of those waves, be in a more favorable time to buy those lands, which is something that the community told us before, and we have listened to. So we're happy about this. We've taken in consideration your feedback in the way we design those sales. Here is, I don't know if I showed that image before, but I think it's kind of like a good teaser of what will be Sandbox very soon, when you'll be able to enter those social lobby with your avatar, what you can do with other users, like chatting, playing, and having some funny interaction between all the other members on the chat. And one last thing before I jump into questions, I see them popping all around. So yeah, I'll get to questions, don't worry. I want to show you some of, showcase you for first time some of the projects, the game experience that are being built by creators who have been selected in our Game Maker Fund. So the first one is called Uncharted World, The Journey Begins. It's a game experience in a very, in a world with sort of like mythical creatures and fantastic, like almost fairy. I love the colors. I love all the creation of the environment. Who are those creatures living in this environment? So each one of those games will actually be also will have its own website, its own social media accounts, and will share the creators are going to share regular updates about what they are making in the game experience, just like if you follow a game on the platform. So it's pretty exciting. The second one is Viking Fjords. It's more of sort of like Viking adventure game. The third one, sorry, it's a Western game. I love Westerns. So in this one, you can see already this inspiration behind with those screenshots. It will be more like action and shooting game. That's quite interesting. This one is also like, it's called 3D Print Your Life. It's made by a young, I would say, a creator. She's just 18, I think, and it's already amazing to see all the things she's been doing by using the GameMaker and VoxEdit. She sort of created a virtual shop where customers can line up, and you have to serve them based on their different requests. All right, so that being said, here I am. I'm happy to jump into questions. So let's get started. All right. So hey, was Vix? Oh, it's a bit skeg. It's a bit difficult. Sorry if I mispronounce it. So I'm excited about the many partnership with Sandbox. There are several well-known game developers like Atari and Paladin Studios. Will the games run on your platform? Well, absolutely. That's the idea. The Sandbox is a decentralized gaming platform and a virtual world. We have almost 50 partners to date, including major gaming studios, indeed Atari, Animoca Brands, Pixel, and we're Paladin Studio, and we are talking to onboard more studios. We have experience making great game on other platforms like iOS, Android, PC, Steam, etc. We have IPs and brands as well as our partners, and the idea is like you as a player will be able to play games made exclusively for Sandbox platform using our game maker. So all the games you're going to see on the Sandbox platform are not porting of existing games. They are always fresh, new, exclusive creation made with Voxel model, made with our no-code drag and drop game maker. And there will be adventures, stories, fights, enemy killings, collecting enemies, completing quests, etc. That's also something quite unique about Sandbox virtual. The Sandbox platform is really our focus on gaming and all the gaming mechanics behind. And we don't want to just make mini games. It's not like those hyper casual games on mobile. We are really focused on how do we create game experience that can last for hours, that can be deep, meaningful, that can tell stories, unexpected stories, not necessarily only here's the bad guy, here's the good guy, and they fight. No, we try to elevate a little bit the experience based also on real gamers' expectation. And working with experienced game studios who have had success in the titles on platforms before is part of that strategy. Hey, Kapong's key. As I have read about Sandbox, users can build their own game. As an investor, how do I utilize the land I bought using Sandbox, even I have no fundamental knowledge about making a game? That's a great question, and one of the as an investor, you can indeed acquire lands, and you'll be able in the future to rent that land via the dashboard and behind supported by smart contract and blockchain, so that a game creator who doesn't own a land or who was not able to get a land at the precise location they wanted to on our map will be able to pay you a daily or monthly fee in Sand token in exchange of being able to publishing his game experience on your land. So for you, even though you don't have specific knowledge about game creation or content creation, you can earn passively some Sand revenue through that. The second way you can also be involved is more like you can actually also, more in an entrepreneurial style, start reaching out to game creation teams that can be part of Sandbox community or that can be external studios to build game experiences for you on your behalf, on your land, and put in place a structure where you will be paying them, for example, a certain monthly retainer for the development, plus an interest based on the revenue generated by the game. Almost like traditional gaming companies are doing when they are creating game on other stores and platforms. Hey, Davao. So, Sir Sébastien Borget, it's nice to hear your real voice in this IMA. Thank you. Can I ask you about your upcoming products? Do you have upcoming products that will revolutionize the gaming industry today? Well, there's one thing I like to say, and I think is like it's really important, usually as an entrepreneur, to be super focused on what you're doing, not try to do too many things at the same time. So at Sandbox, we've been working on Sandbox not for 1 year, not for 2 years, but ultimately for 8 years. That's how long I've been working on Sandbox. It started in 2012 as a mobile game on iOS and Android. We launched a sequel in 2016. In total, we have had over 40 million installs. And from the very first day we launched Sandbox on mobile, we always had in mind this idea. We want to turn players into makers. We want to offer them a way to be able to create fun and engaging them without any programming knowledge. Now, with the new Sandbox on the blockchain, we are adding on top of that the idea that we want a creator to not only own their creation, but be able to monetize them in using all the power and the benefit that blockchain technology brings. And I think we haven't yet reached out that goal. Like we are building great product as part of the platform. We are launching in beta in December, but we have first all our products are still in beta stage. So after December, I'm expecting in 2021, 2022, and the years after to come to keep updating those products, adding more and more features, improving them, adding more platforms like mobile and console, and ultimately show that our vision, our long-term vision, like for the next 5 to 10 years, is really to disrupt what Minecraft and Roblox and Fortnite and all the games creation platform which are centralized that are closed walled garden economies can be, and we can change that model and we can really do it through user generated content and game making. So it's going to take us time to achieve that, but I believe on the long-term vision, and I believe we have the right strategy, the right community, the right product, the right team to achieve that vision over the long time based on our current achievement, our expertise, the fact that we've been making games for so many years, and several unique USP of Sandbox, such as working with brands, IPs, key partners, and many more things. Let me see if I have, by the way, any cool video to put in background. Yeah, I do. Hopla. So, all right, well, I checked the next question. So, according to the roadmap, Sand is now on its 3 phase. What blockchain are in the priority list for Sandbox to connect? I'm not sure what you mean by 3 phase, but like we have essentially introduced Sand on several exchanges, so that was part of our roadmap. We reached that milestone. We're really excited, but by all that, what it has been enabling so far, and this is just the first step. There will be more utility added to Sand token, like governance, like staking with possible rewards for the users who are going to stake, and launching the whole platform, including being able to play game, to monetize your game, to etc. through with the use of Sand token. So I think that's for now the priority. We want to show you that all the different use case that we've been describing for over the different in our roadmap, in our white paper that I've been talking to about along those IMAs, for example. We are delivering them and we are making them work really well already on the Ethereum blockchain. Then we are going to look at how we can keep pushing more interoperability with other blockchain, bringing NFTs to them, or making sure like users of one chain can potentially use our NFT so that they can benefit of Sandbox on other platforms. All right, hey Justin, can I use my land for us promoting media? Could I attract some companies for sponsoring my game project, and as compensation, the brand will have their brand, will have place on some spot of my land? Absolutely. Well, I think it's a great idea. It's really original to approach it that way. In case first we have the game maker fund. So if you have a great game ID, you should submit it to us via the game maker fund URL, which is I'm going to type it here in gamefund.sandbox.game, and we might get back to you, ask you more details about the project, ask you how what are your plans, what you want to create, etc., and pay you to with a grant. So you get to keep everything after the game is launched. It's not um, and that will help you achieve this vision, achieve this game ID you have. You can also have other ideas, like as you mentioned, like just ask media partners for the game, pitch them, get them to fund your development, and showcase those brands and media partners inside your land. If your game is successful and it attracts a lot of players, I'm sure, and we have already seen that before with Second Life, with World of Warcraft, with a lot of MMORPGs. As soon as there is traffic in one social media place or virtual world place, brands, media, they are interested to put advertisement because they want to reach out to users. Us, Sandbox, as a platform, we will not sell advertisement. We will not place advertisement in our virtual world. But you, as a creator, you're free to do that in your own world if you want, and you're free to reach out those agreements on your own. So, yeah, I think that's part of the freedom of creating and choosing which model fits the best for you to fund your development and your ID. All right, the next question here. Do you think and do you think it could be possible that after a successful adoption, land will become a perfect hedge against depreciation of physical real-world asset value like real estate, cash, or equity? Well, that's an interesting. Yeah, here you can see. Yeah, you can see the video. Well, I think it's a possibility. Like we're already seeing like people buying for, we have sold for over $1.5 million of lands in our virtual world. We currently estimate that the total value of that virtual world would be $22 million. We think that as long as there will be demand and use case for the land within Sandbox platform, but potentially outside, people will be ready to people who are ready to accept it as a means of exchange or like as a way to hold value in exchange of something will be interested in what you described. We are discussing with some partners who have ideas like we want to offer loans against collateralizing your land, which means essentially someone will deposit land in a bank, which means they recognize it has some value, and in exchange they will grant you cryptocurrency tokens like Sand or other currencies that you will need to pay back. And if you default on paying them back, then they will take back the land ownership and instead as a collateral. So definitely in the economy of the virtual world, I think more and more like virtual assets, NFTs in general, can serve as ways, as we say, to hedge against the depreciation of physical real world assets, and can be used in ways like I just described. Hey, bestfunny. So gaming platform seems intriguing. Why did you choose it for your project? Game industry is growing fast. Is it wise to invest in gaming in 2021? Well, we're all about gaming. That's our background. Like with Sandbox, as I mentioned before, we have over almost more than 8 years of gaming experience. And I think it's again, like back to, it's always best to focus on what are your strengths, what you know best. If I spent over 8 years to learn how to make good games, to learn how to make games that are engaging, that are retaining players, that can be downloaded 40 million times, that can generate several million of dollars of revenue and have millions of active users, I think I should capitalize on that strength and keep on making better game and repeat the recipe, always executing better and better over time, rather than risk it all into a new industry, a new area where I never ventured before, learn mistake, make new mistakes, etc. Potentially, I can use my experience or I learned before, but well, I think it's good, and we love game. It's fun, it's engaging. We do believe that gaming is a strong use case with billions of gamers, 2.5 billion gamers around the world, an economy of $150 billion currently, which I believe will grow to $1 trillion over the next, well, let's say 5 to 10 years, maybe even faster if we count like the acceleration caused by the pandemic of coronavirus, people spending more time in games and virtual world, people spending more in virtual goods, and now NFTs, understanding the value of them. I think I'm really confident about gaming being one of the key catalysts for adoption of blockchain technology, and one of the most logical industry where NFTs and blockchain make sense. Well, hey, Namtran, the cost of gas on the Ethereum network has been quite high lately. How efficient would it be to buy items in Sandbox game with such a high commission? So I think that we've been monitoring almost every day, like how gas fees have been so far. Last week, the 2 previous weeks have been quite insane indeed. Like gas fees reached like almost new highs. I was checking today, and it's almost back to normal. Like I don't see the difference between today gas fees price and what were the gas fee price when we launched our previous round of land pre-sale, which is a good thing, because specifically in Sandbox, and I know it's not the case for every, unfortunately, it's not the same for every blockchain game. The games that are suffering the most from the high gas fees are the games where every NFT item is actually cheap. Like when it's $1 or $2 game items, the gas fee of $1, $2, $5 doesn't make sense. In Sandbox, the land, they start at the equivalent. Now it's in Sand, but let's say it's the equivalent of $43 for one land, and it goes up. So even if gas fee becomes $2 or $3 or maybe $5 if it rises a lot, which is as of today not the case, on the $43 or higher transaction, so high value transaction, we'll call them, this is still negligible, I think. So we are quite lucky in that sense for now, and for this land pre-sale that we are executing on the Ethereum blockchain. We'll see land pre-sale go usually pretty fast based on what we saw previously, and we should not be subject to the impact of gas fees. Now, that's let's hope for the best. Let's prepare for the worst. So we have some backup cases already in place to manage if by next Tuesday the land pre-sale, during the land pre-sale, the gas fees are too high. We'll put in place specific mechanism that we have built to prevent any congestion and to prevent people not being able to have a satisfying user experience when they are going to buy lands. All right. If I buy, hey, Asia Caster, if I buy a land, am I buying a specific location on the game map? Confused on how the sale will work next week. Yes, that's correct. So each land as an ERC 721 NFT has unique coordinates, X and Y. If I go right now, let's go right now to show you on the Sandbox game website, on the map. Here, you should be able to see it. So Sandbox game / map. Yeah, let's put. You can see every land that in green are the ones that have been sold already. You can see the logos from the different partners, and you can zoom in. And when you click on the land, you can see here its location. Every land, every parcel, whether it's a 1x1 or let's say a 3x3, has a unique location and one or multiple lands inside that really define where your game will be located in our metaverse. So if you and the location of your game will be important for several factors. One is just when people are going to browse our map, their eyes might be caught on specific logos. Like, I don't know, let's take the example of Atari. Here, like that red Atari logo, it captures my attention. So I'm going to zoom in here more than others. And by zooming in, you still see around the other lands. And so the logo of those other games that will be put on those lands. So you are organically attracting more traffic around that. The second thing that we announced also is a transportation system. Essentially, there are lands on the map that include portals. Those portals are a way to travel faster between the different lands on the map. Let me put the article. And if you buy a land that is close to another one with a portal, then players will be able to enter directly in your land. Or by walking distance, essentially like walking from a border of a land on the edge into the other one. So you're going to attract more players, essentially. Trying to find the article. Yeah, here. So we'll put the article on the comments. And I'll move to the next question in the meantime, since I see there's plenty of questions today and just 23 minutes remaining on this 1 hour session. So thank you for being there. A lot of interest today. Hey, DeFi guy, will you be able to make an art gallery in the Sandbox to show off your NFT art collection? Cheers. Well, yes, I don't see why you will not be able to do that inside the Sandbox. Like we believe that you will be able to import the NFTs and display them within our virtual world. But also, it's not the primary use case of Sandbox virtual world. We are really focused again about how do we enable our creators, our landowners to create game experience. We think it's a USP, unique sale proposal, a major differentiator versus existing decentralized virtual world like Crypto Voxel, Somnium Space, Decentraland, where you can already do that exactly. So we don't want to be seen like, oh, yet another world where there are art galleries or art collection. We want you to think like you have art collection, but what else can you offer to your audience in your land? Can you make them play? Can you make them read dialogues to talk to characters? Can you make them learn about something or engage with your art in ways that are totally new? Not just come, sit to watch a 2D image and click to buy. That I think is too much of a limited use case, and there are ways to do things more fun, more engaging for all the users on the platform. So I hope you get excited by this idea, because it is really novel. Like, how can you create your art in a new way to engage with your audience? Oh, our 8-minute video is out. Okay, let's see, put it back. Hey, Icymatic, when will you be able to explore other people's land? Is walking around only possible with ownership? So back to the transportation article, you will be able to walk around into adjacent land. So you don't need to own a land to walk around the lands from other users. We will, before we connect everything on the blockchain, we want to make sure first that you'll be able to play without involving blockchain. Like, blockchain remains a technology that offers great benefits for our users, but it's not the entry point of our world. So we want to make sure that just you can come, you can install the PC or Mac client, you can create your avatar, you can enter without any blockchain wallet. You can browse the land, you can join a social lobby, you can go to play other games as easy as possible. Actually, one of the new features coming in the Game Maker version 0.3 that that we're working on and will release in the coming weeks is an online gallery of where, as a creator, you'll be able to upload your game experience into that gallery for other users who also have the game maker to start seeing, to start playing with, etc. All of that before connecting it to the land, the blockchain, etc. Just because first we wanna see showcase all the amazing creation that will after in one of the next update of the game maker be connected to the land and the metaverse. So we are taking really that step-by-step approach and making sure we hear your feedback and we make the experience fun and engaging always. All right, hey again, Namtran. So what's the difference between Sand and land? What are the benefits that the user can get by owning a land? Yes, so Sand is the main ERC20 utility token of the platform. It serves as a medium of exchange, essentially allowing you as a user to buy land, to buy assets, to trade with other users on the platform, and now as well on other platforms like OpenSea, a secondary NFT marketplace, is supporting Sand token, for example, to sell your creation, so receiving Sand as a way of payment, and monetize your games. It's also a way to participate in the governance of the platform. So by staking Sand in a DAO, you will be able to get voting rights on key decisions of the world map, of settings from the platform, key parameter setting of the platform, as well as who are the project eligible to receive grants from the foundation, and staking, essentially locking your Sand for a certain period of time into a contract, a smart contract, and in exchange of that, so providing the liquidity or not touching your Sand, you will receive like what is called a yield or an interest as a reward. So and you will be able to choose if you stake it for 7 days, 30 days, 90 days, or a larger period of times. So essentially, it's almost like in DeFi, decentralized finance, for those of you who are familiar. Land is an NFT, a non-fungible token. It's the virtual space that is required in Sandbox platform to publish a game. If you're a player, you don't need a land. Actually, you just need an avatar, which is free to use and play. But if you're a game creator, you will need a land, and lands comes in different sizes in order to publish your creation on the map at a specific location. And having a land where you publish this game is a prime way to access the monetization layer of Sandbox. If you want players to enter your game and pay for content in Sand, your game will enable you to receive Sand as revenue. You owning a land, you can rent it as well to other users, or you can resell it later as well. You will be able also to stake Sand in your land to generate other tokens like gems and catalysts that creators will need to mint new tokens. So it's a valuable resource on our platform that plays a central role in the virtual world. Hey, Kakalala, will it be possible to integrate Sand directly into the game? Create a Sand casino on your land or other virtual business in order to earn money. So we will offer several ways to monetize your games with Sand token. This could be, one of them could be a simple, like a premium fee. You need to pay a fee in Sand in order to enter a certain game. Other ways will involve NFTs and assets. You can make that in your game. The players require certain NFTs in order to play. Those NFTs could be like virtual chips for your casino. They could be a specific decoration or something. So indirectly, you will be able to earn Sand by selling those assets that are needed to enter your game or to play in your game on the marketplace. And then we're open to think about other ways to monetize, like thinking about tournaments, prize pools, etc., that could potentially fit the idea you have of a casino. However, just to be clear, we are usually economic systems in the blockchain are I would say, zero-sum games where any token that comes in needs to come from somewhere else. There cannot be like just creation from new tokens. So if you want players to earn sand token in your game, you will need to actually supply those tokens initially. Hey, Carpatan, it's been mentioned that the Sandbox has visions of moving towards mobile and other platforms. If this was to happen, would the ability to create assets and design games move on to these platforms? That's a great question. Indeed, in our roadmap, we're aiming to launch a mobile version of Sandbox in 2021. Mobile, we have a lot of experience with mobile. We've been doing it for many years. And we think that playing on mobile will be a great experience. Like, imagine being able on the go on your smartphone, iOS or Android, to just join a social lobby with your avatar or play the games with your mobile. Like most of the game will have simple design, very simple inputs, touch, swipe to move the character around. Creating on mobile, however, is a more complex story. Indeed, creation tools require a lot of precision, like to move every pixel perfectly or every voxel perfectly in the right place. It's quite hard with a finger. It lacks the precision, and also it lacks the physical screen space. Like the screens, even if smartphones are getting larger, it's quite hard to make a full game and drag and drop with just having a small surface like this where you can pitch with your finger to place everything. So I think the focus is really to make the play experience on mobile first, keep the creation tool like VoxEdit and the Game Maker on PC and Mac, which is pretty much the standard. Like right now, if you look at Fortnite creative mode, if you look at Roblox, all those creation tools are on PC and Mac, but playing works really well on mobile. All right. Next question. Hey, Mulni Youssef, can we buy some land in Sandbox Marketplace after the pre-sale? So after the pre-sale is over, you will be able to buy land still from other users, either on secondary marketplace or soon in Sandbox Marketplace as well. So you're right, we're working on enabling users to buy and trade lands and other premium NFTs on our marketplace as well. When can we play the game on Sandbox? Well, that's a great question. And well, you can already play with the Game Maker, as I mentioned, it's in alpha. With the new 0.3 version that is coming in a week or so, in 2 weeks or so, sorry, you'll be able to click in an online gallery and be able to load the creation made by other creators to play them. So that's already a major change, unique feature that I think will be game changer, and you'll be able to see all the amazing content being made around the world by creators in Sandbox community. So I'm really excited for that feature. And then the public beta of the platform is opening in December 2020. Oh, hey, Kapong's key. Do you plan to make Sandbox DeFi or have some staking? Yes, we're working to introduce some concept of DeFi within Sandbox. It includes play to earn as a business model, essentially enabling players and creators to benefit from the time they spend off the platform, earn token, and be actively engaged into monetizing their time and creation through the token they earn and trading those tokens on decentralized exchange, etc. We also are working on a staking mechanism. As I mentioned before, you can stake sand within your land, and you should be able to receive rewards or token that can be traded and monetized. And we will make some announcements on this topic, hopefully soon as well. Hi, Namtran again. I read that ERC20 is used for SAN token and ERC721 is used for land trading. Why are different standards used and what is the advantage? Well, it goes back on the Ethereum blockchain. You have fungible token like currencies, ERC20, and you have non-fungible tokens. Those are game items tokenized as a token on the blockchain. Each one is unique as unique metadata and cannot be interchanged or cannot be divided. You cannot have like 0.001 of a word or a character. So that's why we're using different standards. Actually, we are one of the main contributors to the ERC 1155 standard, which is an evolution of ERC 721 for NFTs, which is fungible token with metadata. It's a great benefit because it allows to have millions of game items with just a single token on the blockchain, making it more efficient specifically for video games. Like this dragon you're seeing, for example, has 200 copies. It's still one token, but with a scarcity of 200. Whereas with an ERC 721, it would be 200 tokens, each one a copy, identical copy, which would be more costly to produce on the blockchain, to transfer, and less efficient as such. Here, hey, David Volpato, can we sell our game maker project like an asset so can be reused from someone else? I love that question. So we've been having several discussion with the team on like how can we enable users to actually be able to sell or trade almost anything they do on the platform. This means a 3D asset by artist. This means game experience by game creator. This could mean like scripts by once we introduce the visual scripting, you could buy a chunk of code to save time. This could mean like sound asset as well, like we had so times before the question. And I think the overall, what we believe is like, yes, like we would like to offer a way that you can create a template of a game that could be sold, and then a creator can use it to apply it inside his game. So he can save time, or he can focus on creating exactly what he wants, and and use what you did as a starting point for that. Where do you see Sandbox in 5 years from now? Well, I see it. We have this vision that within the next 5 years, we'll be able to reach to more than 1 million gamers, potentially 10 million gamers on the platform that are going to enjoy the benefits of owning their game assets as NFTs, owning, monetizing, trading those game items, earning rewards as they play, participating in a social multiplayer game experience in our virtual world on PC and on mobile, potentially on console, hopefully within the next 5 years as well. So I think the vision is really exciting. Cheating is a big problem to all. Hey, Muhamad, cheating is a big problem to all games. How to protect your game from cheaters? We think it's always a cat and mouse game in a way. Like we have a great technical team. We make all our smart contract audited by professional auditing companies like Certic or Solidified. All of those audits can be found on our GitHub, which is public. Most of the source code of a smart contract is all of the source code is on GitHub as well, can be reviewed by anyone. So we try to make all the code as secure as possible, but you never know, like it's impossible to make it unfireable, impossible to hack, impossible to cheat. So it's more a matter of like monitoring the behaviors, monitoring the patterns, and following high standards of security and having code audited as a starting point, and then having a team that is in charge of monitoring and supervising the platform to find if there's like any behavior that looks suspicious and act on behalf. Yes, hey, just before. Oh, hey, Angus, Georgie. So Hi Sebastian, how long? It's up to you actually. Even though one land is 96 by 96 by 128 at the moment in size. That's quite some space already to put characters, to put decoration. On this video you're seeing on the background, it's actually just a 2 by 2 land. So it looks huge, but so you see all the potential. Depending on the kind of game. Of course, if you make a game that, well, you just run from point A to point B, like one corner to another corner, there's no obstacle, nothing in the middle, no enemies to kill, etc., the experience can be quite short. But if you use all the space in a smart way, both horizontally and vertically, you make that there are dialogues, there are stories to read, there are some quests, come to point A, collect object in point B, come back to point A, collect object in point C, kill enemies in point D, you'll see that you can create games that last for 30 minutes, 1 hour, sometimes more. Like currently, this is what we are seeing in the games made by our creator. Like the size of the land and the duration of the game experience is not necessarily too long. What we're going back to the slide. So it's quite exciting, and it really depends on like how creative you can be as a creator through the different tools we are offering. There's one more thing I think that is quite exciting as part of like making games. I saw one of our partners here. Hey, hello, participate. So we have, it seems, Mike and Steve with us. Participate is a major partner that has been working into creating educative courses for kids and students on how they can make games in Fortnite, like Fortnite Edu, Minecraft Edu, etc., within classroom. So we're quite excited to have this kind of partnership where we will build more educative resources to allow more and more people to learn how they can make amazing games within the sandbox. So yeah, a few last questions. Why use multiple tokens such as gems and assets instead of using a single token to achieve multiple functions? Well, I think it would be weird to do everything with just one token. Like coming from a gamer background, I've been playing video games for 25 years or more. All video games, they have so many different currencies, so many items you can do. You know, you just don't do everything with just one currency or one object in a game. So having multiple currencies and multiple tokens, including gems and assets, is asset being actually like 3D game items. So it will be hard to make 3D game items that you can play with just with sand, like sand coins everywhere. It just makes sense to have a large granularity of different types of token on the platform and make them use specific for every case. That creates the demand, that creates the circular economy. That is the basis of like players earn those tokens, trade them with creators who are spending time into creating instead of playing, and it's like a fair exchange of value and time. Way we. So, yay! Thank you. So let's see why Lon. Can you? Are there any last questions? Okay, let's go with this one. What will Binance do with the 4,000 land they are buying? So it's a great question. Just for the context, recently, last week, actually this week, sorry. This week, Binance introduced that they acquired 4,012 lands within Sandbox Metaverse. It's a major news, we think, because it shows that one major actor, an exchange, Binance, the largest exchange in the world, is not only interested into cryptocurrencies like Sand, but is also interested into taking a participation into the project they support and essentially entering the virtual world, the metaverse, and NFT space. So by acquiring those lands, they are acquiring a way to incentivize their community to participate in the creation of value, in the growth of value of this ecosystem that behind is going to sustain this growth of the Sand token. What does it mean? It means that they are going to use their land, the 4,000 something lands, in order to organize, with the help of Sandbox team, of course, contests, game jam, giveaways, community activities where they will reward their lands to people who are going to build great content, who deserve them, to publish them and like distribute to this community and distribute to the Sandbox ecosystem as a whole the benefit of like creating new value and broadening the reach of NFTs to their audience. So we are really excited about that partnership. We're excited about the idea that how they can use the land and what all sort of like activities and engagement we can create through that. And it's really a strong signal and commitment to Sandbox vision to have larger partners, larger players that are entering the space. All right. So let's see. Do we have one last question? Here, this one from Xiaoxi Lim. Can I connect my game to other games? Well, you'll be able to connect your game to another game through the use of Portal. So even though let's say you have on the map many lands which are at distant locations, like you can still use Portal to make the players enter into one land and go into the other without having to walk every single land in the middle, which is really interesting in terms of game design, because then you can create game experiences that are spawned on our map into various locations. And you can even include as part of the game design ideas like, if you don't want to use the portal, but you can create adventures that tells you have to find out somewhere on my map where is the next level. I will give you some hints. I will tell you some stories to guide you. And by being able to find out, like the discovery of the game is part of the game itself. So it's not a must, of course. It's more like some ideas like how you can enhance that into the discovery and the gameplay. All right. Well, thank you. Yes, I'm glad you're here. You're listening to this great AMA. We have a funny and engaging conversation that covers all the different topics around Sandbox. So yeah, I'm really happy to keep doing that. I think it's now the third one. I try to do it almost, yes, exactly, almost once a month. So it gets some time. We have some announcements, some new features, some new product updates coming up. And we can have these rich and engaging conversations. So yeah, definitely once a month, showcasing the product. In case you want to see concretely how the game maker works, you can watch twice a week. We have live stream organized with some of our top creators. They are live streaming on Twitch and YouTube what they are making in real time. They are interacting with the audience. And we're really excited about like growing the ecosystem of NFTs, growing the ecosystem of Sandbox itself via various partnerships, including the one with Binance, but not only. We're looking forward seeing you next week, starting to own land and join our community of landowner and sandholder to keep pushing the Sandbox virtual world further and grow the adoption together. Thank you so much. I think that's it. We are perfectly 1 hour, like 25 seconds remaining. I see on the time countdown. So it's really cool. Thank you for coming and watching. I really love all your encouraging words. Love the vibe. Yes, me too. It's really very important that I get to talk to our community. Unfortunately, with the COVID, I cannot do it physically in person. Usually, I used to travel a lot and talk directly with people who own land, etc. But having the live stream is something that I've done and I really enjoy. Thank you, everyone. Have a good rest of the day and see you next week.